That's just what I do for video recording. It's just so I kind of have a visual to look for.
All right, we should probably put it down, Pepper. It might be like a white power symbol or something that we don't know about.
My God. Everything's a white power symbol we don't know about.
It's
Hi,
so unfortunate,
everybody.
isn't it?
No,
Welcome
Jason, this is a
to...
shitty. No. Fuck off.
No, no, we keep that in. We keep that in. We keep this version.
I was trying to get us, like, in a good mood for the fucking intro.
Okay,
look
can
where
we
that
edit
got
that in
you.
as a cold open? Can we edit
Might,
that in as a
yeah.
cold open?
Great.
Everything's a white power symbol. Hi, everybody. No.
Hi,
All right,
everybody.
let's try it
Welcome back
again.
to One Loose String, where three white guys sit down together and play Dungeons and Dragons because the internet needed more of that. I'm Jason.
Oh yeah, I'm Michael.
I'm disgruntled, but also named Pepper.
Hi, disgruntled, but also named Pepper. You're new here.
Oh, you shut the fuck up. That's
So,
terrible.
rather than actually playing a session this time, today's episode is going to focus more on world building for the next adventure. I will be running it. Michael and Pepper will be playing it. We are going to be traveling to Vendulsa, a city of an old empire that has fallen about 47 years ago and is now a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Is it on a desert planet?
It is not. I will get to how it is built.
Ah.
Sorry, it's not on a desert. It's in a mountain, actually.
So the way this is going to work is Jason has prepared some things. He's got a 3-page report written up that he's
Now,
going to
I
give
want to
into
make
his
everyone
English
very
teacher.
no. I want to make everyone very apparent that I am not going to have a 3-page paper when it comes around to me. I want that understood from the get-go.
I was gonna say,
Jason is
you're gonna see how each
he's a
of
bit
us
of a
kind of
teacher.
handles world building. I came in with a bunch of notes because I had already had this idea for a while, and now I get to use it. So this will be fun.
So the way this works in game is that we Pepper and I are going to plane hop into this realm. The way it works out of game is we don't want to be stuck in one place for the whole campaign like most
Yeah.
campaigns do. We want to do all sorts of different locations and times and genres and everything like that. So this is basically like our excuse to go to a new town with the mystery machine, that sort of thing.
And
Yeah.
it also
Um,
it really just makes it much easier for us to rotate being DM. Because
Yeah.
if we were all
So-
in the same place and trying to rotate DM, that would get messy.
And
So if you want to go into the next episode completely confused, you could skip this episode, but we're going to be doing a lot of cool world building stuff.
Wow, Michael,
to
give
keep
them the
things
option.
Simple for the first couple episodes. I think we all kind of agreed to do general generic fantasy before we start jumping into the weird, or at least I am keeping it generic fantasy. I'm not sure if they have started planning for their stuff. I don't know what they're planning. So
I don't
Got
know what
a
I'm
couple
planning.
fun ideas.
Oh, this is gonna be wonderful. So,
So
about
what
Vendulsa.
do you want to tell us? Yeah, what do you want to tell us about this
So,
planet?
Vendulsa is a city built into the side of the Alvinus Mountains. It is a 5-tiered ringed city, similar to Minas Tirith, and I don't know the city's name, but the city from Attack on Titan.
I think it's called Attack on Titan.
Sure, let's go with that.
No, it's
Yeah,
Attack
that's
on
the city name.
Titanville.
Attack on Titanville. Now, the thing about this is each ring sort of represents a caste in that society. So if you are part of the lower ring, you are part of the lower caste. Specific areas that are involved. So there's the Timberlands, which is the outside of the walls where all the farms and things are, where the peasants live. Inside the first ring in the walls is the Pelag Ward, which is where farmers and peasants tend to make their houses if they do not live out in the timberlands. The next ward up is the Iondian Ward, which is your middle class ward, the place of merchants. A very open air market is like the centerpiece of it. There is the Legato Ward, which is where the soldiers live. They march up and down. It's a very iron heavy place, whereas the other lower wards might be wood and stone and straw. This is much more metal based. It's a sturdier location. The next ward up is the Katana Ward. It is the land of the priests and the nobles. Now, since the city has fallen 47 years ago to internal turmoil, it is no longer occupied by any one ruling power. It is its own independent city-state. There are 4 other kingdoms that split off from the old empire and rose up in its place. If you have questions about them, I have answers, but they're not super important. But part of the reason and cause of the fall was demonic portals opening up in the Katana Ward. Many of the old churches are now desanctioned and are non-consecrated ground anymore, and demons and devils have made their home in there. There is one more tier, which is the top of the mountain, which is where the castle lies. Now, there is no de jure ruler. Nobody is officially ruling it, but the de facto leader is a man calling himself the Rat King. A somewhat powerful wizard. There aren't many powerful people or magic users in this world, but he rules with the aid of some shadow creature that people have seen as part of public executions. So, what questions do we have?
So, that shadow creature you mentioned, is there any information?
Hang on. Michael, real quick. I have one question. I'm so sorry. What the fuck? What the fuck?
What?
That's the Jesus. I want you to know I wrote all of that down.
So in the Elgato region and the Iodine region,
they're all musical terms. Come on.
I know they're musical terms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry, was that too much for a first session?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It was the Jason amount.
If you expect Eric Steelguard to not have this completely memorized, you'd be correct.
Good. I expect Eric is just kind of dazing off when he receives his, here's your assignment.
I should specify so our characters are getting this information in game. They're getting like a packet or a presentation, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So Eric Steelguard is paying a lot of attention, Eric Steelguard and his steed is paying a lot of attention. He is not understanding everything, but he's very excited about learning this new stuff.
And I
want you to imagine
Urban is just furiously scribbling notes.
Yes, trust me, I didn't go into everything I have. This is like a very quick notes thing. I didn't go into any of the 4 kingdoms and what their whole deal with shit is, so...
Yeah, I know. I haven't really gotten into Fire Emblem much, but I agree. You should get into that later. Pepper, you look unhappy. What's wrong?
Now,
because
do we want to
Kingdoms
explain what your task is going into this, or would you like to say that for the start of the next session?
Ooh.
Let's hold off on it for right now, at least.
Gotcha.
That would be Irvin's first question, but let's hold off on it.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go over your task.
Let's get some more useful information before our characters ask non-useful questions.
I would ask very useful questions. I have some in my head. Fuck you.
Okay. Then in that case, that shadow creature you mentioned, is there any more information that we should get about that, or is that something we're going to find out later?
That would be something you'd find out later. I will be honest, and be upfront with you. You will likely not be meeting the Rat King this session. He is more just a figure you will hear about. He is not part of what I have planned for this session.
I'm still listening. I'll be right back.
You're good.
Okay. So in terms of what's the level of, my brain wants to call it unrest, but like tension between the rings.
Fairly high. The Pelag Ward and the Timberlands are kind of one and the same. And then the Iondian Ward is kind of that middle ground. It caters to some of the Pelag. It caters some to the Legato. It is the place where if you need to meet somebody for a contact, they will likely meet you there because it is a place of business more than it is a place of living.
Okay. And is there, in terms of command structure, is it just the Rat King who kind of resides over everything, and then his information just gets spread down? Or are there controllers of each ward?
There are controllers of each ward, but most of them do kind of not serve under the Rat King,
Right.
but if he were to come down and talk to them about something they're doing wrong, they would listen to him.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there a religion in place in this location that we should be aware of?
There are religions. How each they're the Katana Ward has a lot of different temples dedicated to a lot of gods. One of the kingdoms, the Kingdom of Karkonic, is predominantly a theocracy, and they have made it their goal to restore as many of the temples as possible. There was never an official god, but people like Tyr and I'm blanking on D&D god names all of a sudden, but each of them had kind
General names.
yeah, just the general like god pantheons you would expect.
D&D god names here.
Huh?
I was doing the thing where you cover your mouth and say the thing, so then it gets superimposed.
Oh, yeah,
They
sure.
they're followers of Tiamat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So religion isn't a huge part of it.
In terms of like
Do you-
outside like country, I mean I know they don't play like a whole lot in like terms of just like the overall structure, but like that country, that theocracy is probably playing a decent part in the Katana Ward.
Yes,
I imagine
they send missionaries and people to come in and cleanse it, reconsecrate the ground. They have warriors who come in and will like, this church is our current mission. Clear out the demon infestation, close the door, and make it usable again.
That going?
Not great. They've cleared out 2 or 3, but it's still a very strong presence, especially because it is a portal directly to the 9 hells in a lot of them.
Yeah.
So a lot is coming out. Now, the Rat King has made deals with some of the higher up generals who have started acting as protection for people making their way up to his keep.
The generals of this other theocracy.
Of the armies of the 9 hells.
Oh.
So hell
yeah,
is
that's
breaking into this walled off area.
And the Rat King's like, yo, that's a deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you
So
say
is-
the walled off
Is
area,
that our mission?
Your mission is involved in that area, but it is not to seal off anything in particular.
That feels a bit above our pay grade.
Your mission is...
What are you
I will
talking
tell
about?
this,
We're
your
level
mission
2?
is recon.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah. You're going here
Recon,
for
okay.
recon. You're getting you're going to try and get information to bring back to send in a better team.
Fair. We're the Teen Titans. We're getting info for the Justice League.
Exactly. Except you're like
We're the Teen Titans if the Teen Titans were homeless.
you're
We're
the Teen Titans,
Teen Titans
like
Go.
West.
Where Teen Titans go.
You're like the C team of the Teen Titans. You're like Cyborg, Robin, Beast Boy. They're unavailable. Yeah, bring in these guys.
Bring
Didn't they
in,
have Speedy or something in the
yes,
C
they
team?
did.
Who's Speedy? Which one of us is Speedy? That's a very important
That might
question
be
for me.
me, actually,
know.
because Speedy is Green Arrow's sidekick, and I'm the bow user.
I have a crossbow.
Yes, but I'm predominantly a bow user.
I mean, I'm not good with it, but I have one.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Is there anything that you got? Is there anything the CIE would tell us specifically to be? Jesus. Sorry, someone's upstairs sneezing and walking around like a crazy person. Is there anything the CIE would tell us to be wary of?
The city is known for its various factions that inhabit it. So, if you make contact with someone and they say they're going to help you, they probably are wanting you to also join in on a cause of some capacity, or money speaks volumes here. There is very little trade with any of the other kingdoms, so Vendulsa kind of does have to fend for itself as a group. But there's also all the caste systems that still inhabit it. If you can make a deal with somebody and get you in, you can get much further into the city than anywhere else.
Okay.
general technology level of this planet?
Average medieval. There's not much going on. You wouldn't expect to find like a firearm. Crossbows are still somewhat uncommon. You can find them, but not like the
The
general
richer
guard.
people have them.
Yeah, richer people would have them. The general guards probably wouldn't have them. They'd still be using short bows and such.
So having a crossbow is a good in for us, actually.
Um, how magical would we say this place is on a scale of Detroit to
Is Detroit low magic or high magic?
Low.
Detroit is very low magic.
Detroit to fucking Isengard. I don't know.
I mean, the city is based on
I can't think of a really Hogwarts. Hogwarts. That's about as magical as you can get. Everyone throws magic around at Hogwarts. So between Detroit and Hogwarts, where do we land?
Is this our new official scale?
Yes,
What's in
Detroit's
between them is the question. I'm trying to think of like a good low magic setting.
Game of Thrones?
It's low magic.
Yeah,
but it has
it's a very
some
low magic setting. The fact that the Rat King is a practicing wizard is part of the reason he is in power. So if you can do spells, like the priests could, perform clerical magic, that's what part of the reason they were so high in the caste system.
Okay.
So in that case, during this presentation, Eric raises his hand, and Eric says, "I can do magic. Am I a god?"
I raise my hand after him. No. Eric, you are not.
The director just kind of looks at you two and says, "No, Eric, you are not a god. You are a person."
You're barely sentient.
No.
Well, that's
Irvin.
not very. As soon as I understand what that means, oh no. Just
Michael.
a moment. Something's happening with my Seagate. Mine is real quick. No, it's still there.
Okay, cool.
It's still there. Still recording. And Seagate is still in. I just got like a notification. Sorry, continue.
Okay.
So magic isn't viewed as godly necessarily, is what I'm understanding.
It's not viewed as godly, but it is viewed as a rarity.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Eric is rare.
Through that. That is that's true. Eric, you are quite rare.
Actually, I'm well done. And he just smiles.
Was that a joke? Eric, was that a joke?
He doesn't answer. He has this look of fear, like he doesn't know if he told a joke or not.
I think Eric, just go with you told a joke there, because that was a good joke. Director, I would request something for a headache.
He snaps his finger and a little like magical drone floats out with a small cup of water and 2 Advil.
Thank God.
Ah, from the apothecary.
Yes.
From the apothecary, ibuprofen.
Motherfucker.
No, it's I, B, and then profen.
It was
ibuprofen.
created by Ignis Bantle.
Yeah.
Was his name. And
Ooh, look at you.
He hands you an acetaminophen.
Oh,
take 2 scrolls and call me in the morning. So Pepper liked that one.
I'm mad that I did.
So, an important thing that should probably be told to us, are there any taboos we need to watch out for? Is like stepping on holy ground super bad, or
No, this place is
anything like that?
If you can get away with it and leave no witnesses, you're gonna be fine. This place is practically lawless.
That's exactly what I like to hear with my no stealth.
Now, that's
My
not to say
also
you can
lack
just break
stealth.
into somebody's house and steal their things.
You
They
can't?
will retaliate. people here are very protective of what little they have.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
So if you were to, kick down somebody's door, say, "I'm taking your chest full of gold," they're probably going to pull a sword on you.
Okay.
Well, that's cause to murder, I suppose.
Mm, wait, on
I
which
will do
end?
my best.
Yes.
I think we're gonna do our best not to become murder hobos.
I don't. Irvin doesn't want to be a murder hobo.
I don't think Eric
um,
cares enough.
Eric,
Eric's a paladin.
well, Eric's papa was a necromancer.
Yeah. We've been over
Someone
this.
didn't read the bio I put into the sheet.
I did. I just forgot.
Yeah, Eric's papa
I
was a
forgot to read
necromancer.
We are professionals, I swear.
But yeah.
No, we're
Oh
not.
yeah, professionals. Speaking of professionals, Eric does want to know if there are any statues in the city that he can go say hi to.
Yes, there are actually. At the top of the entrance leading into the Katana Ward, there are statues dedicated to various generals, heroes, gods that kind of watch over and look out into the plains that surround the area.
Eric looks like he would fit in very well there, and he's very excited to go
He's
say
actually
hi to all
short
the
compared to them. They're about 20 feet tall on average.
Eric looks sad now.
In terms of getting into each upper ring, is that just like a you walk in, or is that a you have to be let in?
There are guards posted at each entrance. Guard shifts change. Not every post is run by the same guard group. There are various little factions that are all vying for more hours, more control of the wards, because that leads to them having more favor in the Rat King's eyes. So you
And
could
more money.
see, yeah, and so you could see in one area guards from 4 different groups all battling over who's going to be the main one watching the gate, who's going to be the one.
I'm guarding it. No,
Yes.
I'm guarding it. No, I'm
Basically.
guarding it.
Um,
This is my door. Mo door.
no, don't start. So, Eric is going to raise his hand, and he is going to ask, "What exactly are we supposed to be connoissing?"
There has been a planar artifact found inside one of the churches. Your goal is to find out what is guarding it, so we can send in a team of the appropriate combat readiness in order to steal the object back and keep it out of the devil's hands. Should that get into the hands of any of the leaders of the Nine Hells, let alone Tiamat herself, that could lead to chaos across the realms.
I scribble something down on a piece of paper and I slide it over to Eric, and it just says we're getting that artifact.
He looks at it for a long time, and then he looks over at the director and says, "Stealing from churches! Got it."
You are not to make contact with any demons or devils that you find in there. We just hired you. I don't need to make 3 more coffins. 2 more coffins.
I was gonna say, I raised my hand. I was gonna say he doesn't need a coffin. He needs
I can be
quarry.
left out to a road.
you need a
good,
quarry,
you're recyclable.
something like that.
You can turn me in for 5 cents at your local recycling bin.
I am tempted.
Understandable. But yes, your goal is to perform reconnaissance on one of the churches and figure out what sort of artifact is being held there and what sort of guards are protecting it or getting it ready for transport to the Nine Hells.
Fun.
And you will be
Okay.
dropped into the Timberlands initially, so you do have to make your way up to the 4th ring.
I was
Is there
never
gonna be-
one of those shoes, but I'll suffer through it.
Is there any sort of advance warning that we're coming, or are we just random newcomers on the scene?
You are random newcomers on the scene. If you would like to state you are here for any mission from one of the kingdoms, we can see about falsifying papers for you.
Well, if we are from that theocracy, that gets us a direct line up to that ward.
Okay. What's a roll for a forgery check? I'll make one of y'all roll for it.
Oh, wait, hang on. Why
Dice?
I want big organization to do this. I don't want to do this.
This is to make sure. I will give. This is just a plain D20 roll.
All right, I'll roll.
To see
I'll
how
roll
well
it.
the organization can falsify documents.
It's just a straight D20, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Can we
All
each
right,
roll?
D20
and take
roller.
the better?
You know what? I will let each of you roll for each of your own forgeries.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Oh, Michael, do we take one roll for both of us, or do we each make a roll for ourselves?
If he rolls really well, can I just put my picture on top of his paper?
You can
No.
certainly do
Can I
that.
get
Yeah,
copy
you can
his
give,
paper
you can give
and
that
then-
a shot.
No. All right, let's each roll, Michael. Come on, let's take
All right,
initiative in
all
our
right.
own lives. Ah,
Can
that's
I
a 4.
reroll?
That's a
No.
4.
What did you roll, Michael?
That's a.
They're gonna make them, but they're gonna be on like printer paper with like shitty mugshots of you all.
Why is the CIA so bad at this?
We don't forge documents
The
that
C-
often.
We're not the CIA, for God's sakes. They're next door.
They're
in
a bit of a
another demiplane.
they're dicks. They're dicks, honestly.
They're assholes.
But
Alright,
you have documents. They don't look the best, but it might be able to fool someone who's kind of stupid.
Find the stupid guards. Got it.
So if we distract them, it might be okay.
Yes. If you just like whip it out and show them, it might work.
So if I show them my dick and then the passport, I'll distract them. Is what you're saying?
Michael,
Yes, I knew someone was
He
going to
said
say
whip
that
it
as soon
out.
as I said it.
I resisted because I'm an adult.
No, we can edit it out. So
Great, and you saying we can edit it out just makes it that much better.
it'll be good. It'll be fine. It'll be great. It'll be good. So
This is all staying in.
Yeah, it is.
You stupid little man.
I'm the same height as you.
Fuck.
Eric is gonna draw a lot of attention. Does
Yeah.
the CIE have any sort of what are the people like here? Are they people or are they
There
like
are all sorts
Jason?
of races around. One of the taverns is run by a Goliath in the Merchant's Ward. There's a Loxodon gambler who can be seen running from tavern to tavern, playing games and conning people. Leaders of one of the major resistance movements for the Rat King is a tiefling.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, it's mostly the common fantasy races, but you'll find other weird examples. There's an old war hero named Tetsudain who now runs the Thirsty Knight in the lower ward.
So,
Oh.
how strange would it be to see the two of us walking along? Because neither of us look normal, if I remember correctly.
You would be
I'm
seen as
pretty
a
uncommon.
little... Michael would be seen as a little more normal, because Eric is still technically a Goliath. He just has a weird skin, so they could assume he's from further into the mountains or from another part of the world.
Okay.
Eric would be seen as weird because Githyanki and Githzerai are not seen as often. They might be here and there, but they're not very common at all.
And most
So
of the
for
time,
once,
if one of us
I'm the
lands,
normal
they're
one?
leaving almost immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're the
yeah,
more normal one in
Eric.
this case.
You're going to be the more normal
Eric
one in
raises
most
his-
cases.
Eric raises his hand and he asks, "Could we like wrap him in gauze or something, like an invisible person?"
I raise my hand up and I say, no.
That is up to you all how you approach this predicament.
No.
He stands up and walks out of the room.
I look at the director. Tell me he's not going to get gauze.
He's probably going to get gauze.
So while Eric is gone, are there any safety concerns that we should have about this place?
Pickpockets and thieves are common, so
Mhm.
keep an eye on your coin purse. If you bring
That's
any
good.
money with
He
you at
does wear
all.
a fanny pack.
I'm tempted to not bring any money with us at all.
But if we don't bring any money, how are we gonna bribe people?
Well, magic's not super common, and I can make magical objects. So,
You could make like a magical
That's not a bad
toy to
idea.
entertain someone for hours on end, like a magical ball and paddle toy.
exactly.
Or maybe a cape that continuously flies behind you.
Yes. The ultimate magic
Or,
item.
I mean, I could make them an infusion, and it will last for as long as I let it.
Yeah.
So you make it last until we leave that dimension and then it's gone.
Well, and then at some point I'll just be like, oh, I'm gonna make another one of these, and then it's gone.
Nice.
So
Okay.
I could bribe our way in with fake, real magical items, I suppose.
You just need the items to make then.
I mean,
Or-
I need a bag.
Yeah.
I need a bag and a jug.
So okay, that makes sense. Eric does walk back in. He does not have gauze. He has a bed sheet that he has folded up and he sits down very politely with it.
Hey, Eric,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
what's the bed sheet for?
Let's not get into it. And he looks away sadly.
Eric. Okay.
The nurse yelled at me.
For trying to take gauze.
Yeah.
We do need that for people who come in with injuries, Eric. You cannot
I
just
know,
have
we
that
need it
and
for
make a
people who are
mummy.
already invisible.
I think that's his word for dead.
I think that's as close as we're gonna get. Oh, God.
You think a person whose dad is a necromancer doesn't know the word dead?
With your
He knows the word
intelligence,
dead,
yes.
it just doesn't always mean done. Okay,
Oh, boy. Oh boy.
let's think of any other final questions. What color's the sky?
It's a nice, like, deep blue, deep dark blue.
Oh, any
Okay.
like myths or things like that that we could possibly try and exploit?
Not beyond the typical ones. The people of Vendulsa are not a superstitious type. They tend to be more work alongside it. If you were to travel to any of the other countries, you might be able to get something.
But they're yeah, I mean that's fair. Money speaks here, so it's less
Yeah.
about like ooh magical myth, and it's more like you got my money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Are they currently at war with anybody?
With themselves still. There are several revolutionary movements. The independent Vendulsa movement is currently gaining a bit more traction as its leader, Larissa, starts to gather forces and make alliances with people around town in an attempt to make a full coup of the Rat King.
So, theoretically, would this revolution be something we should look into? Maybe secretly get inside of it so that we can topple a coup, that sort of thing?
I mean, you could look into it. It is completely outside of your mission, but you can look into it.
Cool. Okay. Pepper, do you have any other questions?
I'm hearing side quest. No.
I'm hearing side quests in our 2-episode session. Yeah, it's gonna be great.
We can always return to this world.
We can. That is always a possibility.
Because I'll be honest, with some of the stuff I'm planning, it will take place on the same, like, continent, but in different regions of the continent where it's different, like, nations dealing with their own issues.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pepper, do you have any final questions?
Do I have to take Eric? Please.
We would prefer it if you
Eric
stuck with
puts
Eric.
the bedsheet over his head. Eric puts the bedsheet over his head and he says, "I'm not here. What are you talking about?"
The director
I
looks at
stare
you.
off.
I would
I stare off into the half
prefer
distance.
it if you take Eric with you. Having one man do this might be a rough job, so
I just stare at Eric and I go, "Yeah, rough job."
Eric does take the blanket
he
off and
was
says,
not
"Well, if we
worth
need
the
more than one
$10
man, you
we
might
paid
want
for
someone
him.
else."
It's
I
fine.
was worth $10, and he looks very happy about that.
$10 USD, not like 10 pounds.
What about Canadian?
About 9.7.
And on that note,
And I think that will be it for our world building session, unless anybody has any very, very last minute questions.
we're gonna get better at
not
asking these
that I
questions.
Yeah,
can
we're
They
gonna
think
go
get
of.
better
long.
as we go.
I think we're gonna. I think that's a note for the entire not podcast, the entire episodes. Just we're gonna get better. We promise.
We've already upgraded Michael's audio quality,
I know, it's
We
amazing.
have.
and even though he's
And
got a
I
cockatoo
look like a
here right now,
cockatoo that's trying to mate. Yeah, look at me.
fucking
Well,
crap.
That's it
This
for
is
today's
Cockatoo
world
signing out.
building session. Michael's gonna go mate, I guess.
Ooh. Hey,
So-
Jason. I'll be over soon.
Gotcha. I'll see you in a couple minutes.
I want to leave.
But
I'm gonna
until
come.
then, see you all next time when we dive into whatever I'm gonna have to deal with these two chuckle fucks.
Hi, I'm a
excited.
chuckle fuck. I'm a chuckle fuck. That's a nice step up.
Good night, everybody.